Hello, welcome to Postcolonial Space. I'm Masood Raja, and what follows is an excerpted clip from one of my longer webinars. So what I've decided is that sometimes when people ask really interesting questions, I will pull out that particular part of a webinar and make it available to you as a short clip so that if you don't have time to watch a 1-hour webinar, you can at least watch and listen to the brief exchanges that I usually have with people who attend my webinars. So here is one such clip from a recent webinar. I hope you enjoy it. So obviously I'm opposed to this new rise of Taliban, and I've elaborated my reasons for it before as well. But the reason I'm opposed to it is, first of all, it came about through violent means, right? There's a group of people who have conquered a country and now are forming a cabinet and want to be considered a legitimate government. Two, we have a history of Taliban and their actions right in front of us. We know what they are capable of. We know how the lives of women, minorities, and everyone else in Afghanistan will be curtailed, right? And so when we take sides, if for some reason we are siding with Taliban, that is what we are siding with. And that's what we need to keep in mind. Now, quite a few people send me private messages and they just assume that I am somehow naive. I am not really naive. I know the strategic interests of Pakistan and Afghanistan. I'm aware of Indian strategic interests in Afghanistan, also of the Chinese and Russians, right? Each one of these constituencies has their own axe to grind, have their own national interests. I refuse to see Afghanistan from their point of view, because I think what the people of Afghanistan deserve is our empathy, but also to view their plight in humanistic terms, right? And see how can we be in solidarity with them in this time of trial. So these are some of my thoughts, and of course, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I'm already on record on this issue. Actually, I'll post the links to this after I'm done today. I've already done one interview with a German magazine about it. I've also published, some of my own thoughts on it. And of course, I have recorded videos on it as these things unfolded. So let's look at, let's say, regional interests. Pakistan, which is my country of birth, right? And also my native country. So there's a lot of jubilation in Pakistan in the public sphere, but also in private discussions and everything else. And it is understandable because Pakistanis saw the previous government as a government hostile to Pakistan. And now seeing Taliban, right, who are friendly to Pakistan, what they are seeing is that they now have an advantage against India in Afghanistan because they have a complacent regime, right? That is the reason for that jubilation. The more quixotic versions of it is this elation that somehow the Taliban have defeated America and hence, they are someone they can consider as heroes, right? These are some of the things coming out of Pakistan. In India, since India had invested heavily with the previous government, there is a lot of anger and fear, and some of their channels, which are affiliated with government propaganda, were trying to prop up Panjshir and everything else. So they are now reeling from their own engagement with the previous government. So these two countries, they see Afghanistan in instrumental terms, right? They see it as to how the people and the land of Afghanistan could be useful to their interest, right? I am not bound to do that, right? I have no reason to do that as a public intellectual. My job is to see how this development impacts the people of Afghanistan. And of course, it is going to impact them very negatively. And so I speak in solidarity with the people of Afghanistan. I had also recorded a video, especially addressed to my Pakistani audiences, because my point was that if they could look at what they are supporting critically and not emotionally, here is what they are supporting, right? They are supporting a militant regime. Some of them are still on the terroristic list, a regime that is known for oppressing women and for oppressing and killing minorities. And as we see the signs, they've already started to do that. So if Pakistanis support them officially or unofficially, that is what they are supporting. To Afghan people, there is no time to rationalize it and say, well, it's in Pakistan's interest. That's what. No. To Afghan people, if you are supporting the Taliban right now, and if you make it possible to stay in power, you are supporting a regime which is going to and is brutalizing the Afghan people. Overall, as someone who works with constituencies who are not powerful and constituencies who deal with power, my place is pretty clear. I have to be with the people of Afghanistan. I have to speak with them, not for them, but in solidarity with them. And that's why, I chose today not as an educational topic, it's a deeply political topic. That's why I chose today, because I think we all need to have this heart to heart conversation about what has befallen Afghanistan. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this brief clip. If you are interested in the longer version, the link will be in the description and you can watch the whole webinar. Thank you so much for your support. And as always, if you have any questions, any concerns, you can always post them in the comments and I'll be happy to respond to them. If you have a moment and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now so that you get timely notifications of whatever is happening on this channel. Thank you for your support. Stay safe, and as always, from me to you, peace and love.